What if I told you that the people who cry the easiest are often the strongest people in the room? Sounds strange, doesn't it? Because ever since we were children, we've been told the exact opposite. Stop crying. Be strong. Don't be so emotional. Society praises people who appear cold and unemotional. We're taught that tears are signs of weakness, and that being tough means suppressing what we feel. But psychology tells a completely different story. What if crying isn't proof that you're weak? What if it's proof that you're wired differently? And what if the very thing you've been ashamed of your entire life is actually your greatest strength? Because the truth is, some people don't cry because they're fragile. They cry because they experience life on a much deeper level than most people ever will. And once you understand the hidden psychology behind this, you'll never look at sensitive people the same way again.
If you are new to that channel, then subscribe and like before moving up in the video.
1. Highly sensitive people experience life in high definition. Most people think crying easily is a personality flaw. But according to psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron, around 15 to 20% of the population are what she calls highly sensitive people, or HSPs. These people aren't broken. They're simply different. Their brains process information, emotions, and experiences more deeply. Think of it this way. Most people are watching life in standard definition. Highly sensitive people are watching it in 4K. They notice the little things. A beautiful song, an act of kindness, a sad movie scene, even the pain of a complete stranger. Not because they're weak, but because their nervous system picks up emotional frequencies that most people completely miss. And in a world that's becoming increasingly numb, that ability is actually rare. 2. Your brain is literally different. Brain scans have shown something fascinating. People who cry easily often have stronger activity in areas of the brain associated with empathy and emotional awareness. In simple words, they don't just understand what others are feeling. They actually feel it. When someone around them is hurting, they don't simply say, "That's sad." Their brain almost experiences that pain itself. Psychologists call this emotional resonance, which explains why sensitive people often feel exhausted after social gatherings. Because while everyone else is simply talking, they're absorbing moods, absorbing tension, absorbing sadness, absorbing energy. They're carrying emotional weight that nobody else even notices. And that's why many deeply sensitive people need more time alone. Not because they hate people, but because even the strongest batteries need to recharge. 3. Tears are not a breakdown. They're a release valve. Have you ever noticed how you feel lighter after crying? Almost as if something heavy has been lifted off your chest? That's not imagination. Which means crying isn't just emotional. It's biological. Think about a pressure cooker. Without a release valve, pressure keeps building until eventually something explodes. Human beings work the same way. People who never allow themselves to cry often carry stress for years, until one day they break. But people who cry when they need to aren't falling apart. They're regulating themselves. Their system is protecting itself. Crying isn't weakness. It's maintenance. It's the body's way of saying, "I've carried enough. It's time to let some of this go." And sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is allow themselves to feel. 4. Emotional depth creates extraordinary people. Some of the most compassionate people you'll ever meet are deeply sensitive. They're the friends who listen when nobody else does. The people who remember the small details. The ones who stay when everyone else leaves. Sensitive people often become great artists, great writers, great leaders, great healers, because they understand something that many people don't. They understand human emotions. And that's powerful. History is filled with brilliant minds who felt things deeply. Because emotional depth doesn't destroy creativity. It fuels it. The world celebrates intelligence. But emotional intelligence might be even more valuable. Because people rarely remember how smart you were, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. 5. Sensitivity is courage. Let's be honest. It's easy to act tough. It's easy to hide. It's easy to pretend that nothing affects you. But it takes incredible courage to be vulnerable. To love deeply. Care deeply. Because real strength isn't about becoming emotionless. Real strength is feeling everything. And still choosing kindness. Still choosing love. Still choosing hope. Anyone can build walls. But not everyone has the courage to live with an open heart. And maybe that's why some of the strongest people in the world are the ones who have cried the most. Because they've felt pain. They've survived it. And they still haven't become bitter. Conclusion: the truth about strength. So the next time tears fill your eyes, don't be ashamed. Ask yourself this: is strength really about killing your emotions? Or is it about having the courage to experience them fully? Because feeling deeply isn't a weakness. It's a gift. It's empathy. It's humanity. It's what allows us to connect with others, to love, to create, to heal. The world doesn't need more people who hide their feelings. It needs more people brave enough to feel them. Because the people who cry easily might just be the strongest people among us. And if you've spent your whole life believing that your sensitivity was a flaw, maybe it's time to stop seeing it as a weakness and start seeing it for what it truly is: a superpower. If this video changed the way you think about emotions, let me know in the comments. Do you believe crying is weakness? Or do you believe it's a hidden strength? And if you're serious about understanding yourself and mastering human psychology, make sure to subscribe. Because sometimes, the things we try hardest to hide